Hello, beautiful being. I am so glad that you found this video because it is just completely unjust and unfair that so many of us look at that stuff in our underwear, see different fluids that come out of our vaginal canal, and we feel shame, disgust. We even worry that we might be sick, when most often what we're seeing is actually a sign of thriving health. So let's dig into what cervical mucus is and why it's incredible. But right before I pull up some slides just to help our learning, my name is Emily. If we haven't met before, I am an experienced fertility awareness educator, but I prefer going by Womb Science Witch, and it is my life's mission and work to guide beautiful beings just like you into a sovereign, empowering understanding of their cycle so that they know how to achieve pregnancy with ease, avoid pregnancy with ease, but more importantly, just walk through the world with that confidence and agency that comes when we know how our body works. So what is cervical mucus? I'm sure that you've seen it before, but you had no clue just how badass it actually is. So this is a picture of your reproductive anatomy. This is your vaginal canal at the bottom here. And you'll see that at the top of your vagina, you have your cervix. Cervix means neck. So it's like the base or the neck of your uterus and the base of your internal reproductive anatomy. Now, your cervix is this really gorgeous divine gateway because most of the cycle, it is closed and it is sealed off with this progesterone type of fluid, or this G-type mucus that we call it. So basically, the body seals off and closes the cervix for most of the cycle, because why would it want to let bacteria into an internal organ? It makes sense that our body would want to seal and keep that uterus nice and safe and protected. But as our body approaches ovulation, the body responds by making this fertile fluid that opens up the cervix to release down and out this hydrogel. Now, this hydrogel of cervical mucus is absolutely incredible because it is literally the elixir of life. What do you notice here about this picture? You'll see that on these mucus days, when we're making this estrogenic hydrogel, sperm are allowed to swim into the body, but cervical mucus also feeds, bathes, and nourishes sperm to keep them alive while the body waits for ovulation. So here's a little picture of my actual cervix. You are welcome, world. Took this with a speculum and an iPhone, and you'll see that my cervix is open on that day and that I am making this creamy and clear fluid. Now, here's some pictures of many different ways that cervical mucus can look, but these are not the only ways that cervical mucus can look. I want you to notice that many of these pictures have this egg white type quality, where the mucus that you're seeing here is clear and stretchy and lubricative. But your cervical mucus could also just be something that is more tacky and white. It could be something like this that is perhaps yellow and gummy, or it could even be like this tissue paper, where it's just a wet, slick feeling when you wipe and you see a huge wet spot on your toilet paper. But this is not the only way cervical mucus can look. You have to get to know your body. You have to learn what your cervical mucus pattern looks like by developing an intimate relationship with your body. So how is cervical mucus made? It's made by the cervix as the body approaches the time of ovulation. The bigger the egg grows, the more this follicle of the egg develops, the more estrogen we make in our body, meaning we are going to make higher quality and quantity of cervical mucus the closer and closer that we get to ovulation. That's why we call this fertile time in our cycle the fertile wave, because that level of quality and quantity of cervical mucus increases. I have another video about that that's linked in the description below this video, so you can learn all about the fertile wave, when it is, when it starts, when it finishes, how you can use that information of the fertile wave to avoid pregnancy or achieve pregnancy. So here's another way of looking at that same piece of information. We've got the time of menstruation when our body is releasing blood. After menstruation, people typically have a dry period where the cervix is sealed closed, no mucus is being made. And then as we become fertile, we make some creamy, tacky, sticky mucus. And then we'll move on to making some peak mucus, something that is either clear or stretchy or that very slippery, lubricative feeling. And then after ovulation, we go back to a dry state for the rest of the cycle, which you can also see here on the chart. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I check for my cervical mucus? When do I check for my cervical mucus? Check all of the info in the description of this video below, because I have some amazing resources for you available if you want to start charting your cycle and checking your cervical mucus today, maybe this weekend. But basically, a little free tidbit for you, because I care so much about you developing body literacy, is that you can just start paying attention to how it feels when you wipe your vulva front to back with toilet paper and what you can notice and see on the toilet paper after you wipe. Here's an example of a symptothermal method chart where this person has learned to observe, chart, and interpret their cervical mucus up here with these different color codes and with these different codes that we use to describe the texture, the quantity, the quality, the color of the mucus we're seeing. And this person is using this information to avoid pregnancy. Because on the green days where you don't make any mucus, the acidity of your vaginal ecosystem is going to kill sperm instantly. Your cervix is sealed closed. There's no egg, so there's no way to get pregnant. If you want to know more about charting your cycle for conscious contraception, so you can also avoid pregnancy while maintaining this beautiful relationship to your natural rhythm, to your holistic hormonal health, then once again, let's connect. Check out all those resources that I have for you in the description below this video. Thank you for watching, beautiful. Come back and let me know in the comments when you see some cervical mucus.